So on Tuesday, when I uploaded the video, Wednesday. So on Wednesday when I uploaded the video, I said that I was going to do a video on the process of how to buy a house, or how to go about buying a house. Because when Leah and I first started, we found it really difficult to know what to do next, the terms that you use, all the things that you needed to know. We didn't know them, and I'm not saying it was a negative, but it meant that we had to find these things out for ourselves, or use Google. And Google, although it's great sometimes, it's kind of that it always gives you the worst case scenario. Like, for example, and tangent from house talk, but when you type in that you've got a headache, Google tells you have a tumour in your brain. It's that kind of thing. You type in that you've put in an offer and you haven't heard back, and people will tell you that they have your account details and they've robbed you. Maybe not as bad as that. So I thought that I would do this video and sort of talk about how we went about it, and the things that we learned along the way. We had a very long viewing process in terms of we went to see a lot of houses. I had friends that went to see 2 houses and got their second house, and I had friends that just went, saw their first house and bought it. And yes, there's positives and negatives to each end of the spectrum. You know, have you seen enough houses to know that this house is the house you want? And in retrospect to that, if you see too many houses, then you end up in the position that we were in, which is head melted. So to start, everybody knows that when you're going and looking for a house, that you want to start by going on Google, on Property.I, Property News, whatever app or website is local to your area. Don't forget though, we did this quite a lot. Some of them are different, and when you're selling a house, you choose whether you want it on Property.I, you choose whether you want it on Property News, you choose, so it may not be on Property.I, it may be on Property News, but there might be a house that's on neither and is just on, for sake of argument, say Ulster Property Sales website. So you need to check all of those continuously. The next thing that you want to do is you see a house. So you've scrolled through, you've seen a house, and one of the biggest mistakes that we made at the very beginning was you go on, you see a house, and you go, holy shit, that house is disgusting. And yes, it may be decorated horrendously or not to your taste, but you need to see past that. You need to see the potential in a house. And if it's at the lower end of the price bracket for that area, so the houses in that area are maybe 10 or 15,000 pounds more, then you need to think that's why that house is 15,000 pounds cheaper, because it's vile. So you need to see past that, and you need to push past that. It's a very easy thing to say, and it's something that we eventually did. Just going to find one. Focus. There we go. Can you see this? Tartan-tastic. Holy shit. Focus on my face. Okay. The point I'm trying to make is that house was going for £149,000. Yeah, it seems like a lot, because to you, that house needs 10 grand worth of work to get the tartan stain out of it. But look past that and go, okay, well, it's a good house. It's sturdy. It's in good standing. Might be worth taking a look at, and go view it. Which brings us to the next step, the viewing. So there's people will love to give you tips when you're buying a house, and these people will have bought a house 25 years ago and will give you tips. so don't listen to them. I bought a house 4 weeks ago. When you're going to view a house, people will say, seem disinterested. Go in and go, yeah, meh, nah. Why? The people that are trying to sell you the house, i.e. the estate agents, are trying to get more money. It's obvious. The more money they get from the sale of the house, the more commission they get from the sale of the house. Unless, of course, they have done a fixed fee sale. Some do, some don't. I'm not going to go into naming names. I'm not going to say who does it, who doesn't. But you need to remember that they still need the house sold. So if you go in and look really disinterested, they're not going to care what you think because they know that you're disinterested. So they're not going to ask for your opinion on it the next day. And then when you put in an offer, if you do put in an offer, it's going to be so out of the blue that they're not going to take you seriously. At the same time, you don't have to go in and go, wow, it's beautiful, because no house is that nice unless it's a brand new build, and even at that it's this big then. So just go in and be yourself. If you like the house, say, yeah, this is nice, this is cool, I like this. Wow, look at the size of that bedroom, it's much bigger than the ones that we've seen previously. Who cares if you show that you enjoy it or show that you don't like it? Just be yourself when you go to view the house. It's better for everybody. So if you don't like a house, be honest. Most times the estate agent will phone you the next day and they'll ask you for some feedback. And more times than enough, just give them the feedback. If you didn't like it because of the decor, if you didn't like it because of the garden, because of the size of the bedrooms, you didn't like the neighbourhood, you didn't like the drive into it, whatever, just tell them what it is. There's certain things the vendor will be able to change and certain things the vendor won't be able to change. If it's up a street, there's nothing they're going to be able to do about that. If the kitchen's crap and you don't want to buy it because of that, if they get enough feedback to say that the kitchen's crap, then they might say, invest $3,000 into the kitchen and we'll put it back up for £4,000 more. That way they're going to get their money back and there's a new kitchen in the house. For somebody like me who's a first time buyer, it's not going to matter to me that it's not a £10,000 kitchen. It's going to matter that it's a new kitchen. If I was going into a house, I'm going to put a £3,000 kitchen in anyway and not a £10,000 kitchen. If you do like the house though and you want to put in an offer, I seriously suggest that you and your partner, whether that's your girlfriend, your boyfriend, whoever it is, after you view the house, sit down and say to yourself, realistically, what is the maximum amount of money you would go on that house? Think to yourself, that house is, say for sake of argument, 150,000. If we get caught in a bidding war, at what point do we pull out? And you need to do this. First time buyers get caught all the time with just bidding too high. I want it, I want it, I want it, I want it, I want it. It's not fucking eBay. We're not talking £2, £3, £4 here. We're talking thousands of pounds. And you have to remember, it doesn't matter what you think that house is worth, it doesn't matter what the estate agent thinks that house is worth, and it doesn't matter what the owner of that house thinks it's worth. It's what the bank thinks that house is worth. So if you put in an offer of 160,000 on a house that's 150, you're going to have to find that difference because the bank won't lend it to you. They will lend you 90% of 150,000 if that's what that house is worth. So you now have 11 grand to try and find. Maths probably isn't right on that, but whatever. Things to think about. To summarise, you want to make sure that the house you're buying is the house you want to buy. Don't buy it just because you want to buy it. Don't buy it for a price that is far beyond what the house is worth. Look at the other houses that are pristine in the area. Now people will tell you, go in straight away with your highest bid and say, That's our bid, it's on the table, it's there for a week, see you later. In my experience, most will just go, we don't work to deadlines, so thanks for your offer, but we're not going to revoke it, and it's not going to work. You're not going to time pressure people into buying or accepting your offer. We did it several times and it backfired on us several times, so there's no point. Don't even do it. Just say, this is our offer. If you think it's worth the asking price, offer the asking price, but be assured that it will go up. So my advice is to offer slightly less than the asking price, 1,500 to $2,000 less. That way you're not being so cheeky as they go, cheeky f***. But at the same time, you're not giving them all of your money. So you're kind of in that middle ground where they go, that's a reasonable offer. Let us think about it and we'll get back to you. Now they're thinking about that offer. It's in their head that can go. They're thinking, we want to get rid of this house. Whatever. Anyway, I'm rambling. You also want to look out for if it's chain free or in a chain. So initially, I know this is probably something really simple and most people will know this, but I personally didn't. Chain free means the person selling the house isn't trying to move to another house. They have their house, or they have another property that they're living in, or they're selling it on behalf of a parent who has passed, or a parent that has moved into a care home. These are the likes of chain free. These are quick, these are easy, and they're more likely to go through. In a chain means that the person selling the house needs their house that they're buying to go through as well. And if that person's in a chain, then essentially it's a chain, it's a link. If one house is being sold, another house is being bought, which means this house is being sold, which means they're moving into a house that's being bought, which means this one's being sold, and so on and so forth. The longer the chain, the more likely it is to break. Optimally? I don't know. You really want a chain free, but you're not going to be able to find a chain free everywhere you go. We found 2 chain frees in the entire time that we were hunting for houses, and we were hunting for probably about 8 months to a year. Loosely for a year and then solidly for 8 months. You want to ask, is the house in good foundation? You want to look for things like cracks, for damp, for mould, things like that. You want to ask, is it in a good neighbourhood? You want to ask, is it a chain? Whatever. You can ask, is it leasehold or freehold? It doesn't really matter now. Leasehold means that you pay a ground rent on the property. It's usually like 25 to 30 quid a year, so it's not a massive deal. Your solicitor will find that out anyway when you get to that point. You want to ask things like when the boiler was last serviced, how old the boiler is. If they know, they may not know. But you want to ask these things on the off chance that they do know. Yeah, I mean, that's all for the viewing process and for the bidding process. So I'll get this video edited, post it up. It's probably going to be a 2-part now because this is actually quite long. So yes, the second video will be what happens after your sale is agreed or you get an offer accepted. So stay tuned for that in part 2.